Can men and women really be just friends? Well, today's question has ended friendships, it has started relationships, and probably caused few arguments at home.
Yes, it is possible for male and female to be friends.
Mhm.
One, when the boundary is clear. No secret meetings, no side shows. It is just straightforward that is clearly defined. If you are married, your married partner should know that it blah blah is a friend. So it is possible for a man and a female to be friends.
Men and women, just friends. It's not possible. Let us not lie. It is not possible.
Collo,
It is not possible. It
just
is not
be
possible.
clear.
It is not possible.
Very difficult.
Let us be very honest. It's either these people were sleeping together in the past, or
Or
they
they're
are sleeping together now, or they are planning to sleep together in the future. Because a man cannot invest his time, his energy, his money where there is no potential.
No
We men
benefits.
are very logical beings, so it is not possible for a man and a woman to be just friends. It's not possible.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome back to CCTV. In today's Rift Opinion, we are asking ourselves a question. Can men and women really be just friends? Yeah, can men and women really be just friends? Well, today's question has ended friendships, it has started relationships, and probably caused few arguments at home. Can men and women really be just friends? Or is one person always secretly hoping for something more? Well, let's get started. But of course, before we get into the video, I'm having my co-hosts, David and Collo. Yeah, so I would just want to ask you one question. Your best friend, man, is it a man or a woman, and why?
Thank you so much, Ivy. Okay, to the viewers, you know how we do things here. We don't smooth things here. We rip open things so that the viewers can decide. Here we don't just agree to disagree. Here we disagree to understand. And this is the Rift Opinion. Okay, thank you so much, Ivy. I think with regard to your question, you know, for me personally, I don't think it's about gender, whether male or female. I think it's about trust. Somebody who can confide in one another.
No, Collo, you're going too deep. Answer the question. Is your best friend a man or a woman?
Yes, I'm talking about me. For others, they may choose men or women.
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
I'm asking
for
you.
me now, it doesn't matter.
Who?
Yes, people have different,
Tell us who. Is it
No,
a male or a
yeah,
female? You only have this.
Okay, that is a personal question, but for me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
a best friend doesn't have to be personal.
Which is why I'm saying, for me personally,
No, but you have a best
A
friend,
best
right?
friend.
You do?
I do have a best friend.
Is it male or female, Collo?
I don't have to go that way, but because
Why?
because
Unless there's something else.
no, there is nothing else. Because
Yeah,
for me, it's about trust. You know, the person I trust, the person we can share meaningful information together, and for me, it may not necessarily be a woman or a girl. It's not about gender when it comes to the best friend, because I do not have a specific best friend. I have many best friends. Yes.
Collo, una dodge.
No, I'm not dodging. I'm just telling you what it
Hapana,
is.
una dodge.
Okay, for many people I know, for many people will have maybe a single best. They consider a best friend. That is what they choose. Everybody has a way of defining their best friend. Because really, what do you mean by best friend? What do you mean? So that maybe
I'm the one asking the question.
no,
You are
still. But I want to get your point of view, so that I understand what do you mean exactly by
Yeah.
best friend.
So it
Yes.
has different meanings, right? That's what you're
Yes.
trying to say.
So some it depends on how you really understand by the word best friend.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
David, is it a guy or a woman?
I would rather say, as at now, previously before, I lost a very close friend of mine, was a gent, and immediately 6 days after graduation, he died out of an accident. Apparently, the person who replaced him, though it was not just, an immediate thing, it took time for nearly more than a year. I can say a lady, somebody I feel so much, she understands me. rather than, in as much as I have so many other friends, close friends, very few.
Mhm.
I have so many friends, but very few friends. I mean, few friends. But I feel like this one particular understand me more than every other friend.
Mhm. So you call them the best friend. Is it a he or she?
Actually,
Why do you think it? Why? Okay, why?
the reason as to why for me, even me, I didn't know that one time or one day she can be one. I mean, but with time, it just time, time and the activities of life, the
Mhm.
education. I mean, what is happening? I feel like she understands me more than any other friend I've ever had. Yes.
So like that's your best friend. Now that you said it's a she,
Mm.
can you feel jealous for them because you said it's a you specifically said it's a best friend. There's nothing more than that, right? So
Yes.
if today she comes out to you and tells you she is into a relationship or something, will you be jealous in a way?
In fact, for your information, she's in a relationship.
You don't feel anything
They are
towards it?
already, they are planning to get married
Uh-huh.
very soon.
Mhm.
It doesn't bother me. Like I'm just okay.
So is the partner okay?
I want the best for her in all aspects,
Mhm.
in terms of her career. You mean family life? For me, feelings does nothing to do with feelings. Like genuine friendship that is based on trust,
Mhm.
clear boundaries. Like her boyfriend knows me
Mhm.
from the start. Did not just for nearly they've been dating for nearly 4 years.
Mhm.
Yes. So her boyfriend knows me so well. And for all those 4 years, I mean, very clear boundaries.
Mhm.
Mm.
Collo, would you survive his sex?
They has an interesting view. Basically, we are wired differently. We
Mhm.
men are wired different from ladies. And if you're straight like me, a woman, there's no way you can just, like hang around a woman. What are you talking about? It is always for me. It's always a time. When such situations occur, it is a waiting moment for you to bang that lady because there is no point in time that women will be best friends or just friends with men. It is not possible. Unless I don't understand the meaning of just friends. What do you mean exactly by, somebody being just a friend?
Unless there's something coming up, right? Unless
Exactly,
they're building something.
exactly my point. Because
Mhm.
if we are talking about, a platonic kind of relationship where there is no dating, no romance, no sex, then
It can be of the opposite
then,
gender.
then it can never be.
It can never be.
A man and a woman,
It can never
we are
be.
wired differently, how we think. And in fact, men invest a lot of their time, energy, and money where they see potential. Women do the same where they see opportunity. That is the difference. And for us men, you cannot tell me I'll just have a best friend who is a female. We hang around together, we sleep together in the same bed, and you are telling me, quote
No.
unquote,
When you have
yeah,
when you have a best friend who is a female Collo,
okay,
like would you end up sleeping
Collo,
together in the same bed?
okay,
No,
okay.
Apana, that's not a best friend.
What, best friends, they share. If somebody is your best friend, really, I mean, because people define best friends in different ways.
Mhm.
There are people who are so close, they confide in one another, they share deep secrets, they share a lot of things together, they share a bed. You're not doing nothing. They are best friends.
Really?
But if
They are lying.
but for that case, if that is really possible for some people, I don't concur with such a situation because if it is me, really,
Can never be you.
it can never be me.
No way.
Maybe I can say this.
Mhm.
Like for ours is a bit different one. Just from the start, like there were clear boundaries. It is never even in my mind. In as much as she's beautiful and all that, we met at very different seasons of life. We've gone through different seasons of life. And there is nothing that is making us to be so close. Understand? In as much as we share certain values, what makes you to become a friend to somebody? That's the extent you can trust. I mean, you can trust somebody and confide with your secrets, your everything, understand you better, and blah, blah. So our friendship is purely based on one, she is a Christian as much as I am. I believe her for that fact. Yes, so to say. That is what makes us different. Secondly, is somehow, I mean, educational level, she's a bit older than me. I can say a bit older than me, education wise and almost everything. So I can just say, uh, What makes somebody to become a true friend to you is defining moments such as when you're going through hardship. Leave only the friends. You can be friend with somebody when you are enjoying. You're not like. Yeah? So what made us to really have those boundaries and everything is that we have very clear boundaries in terms of when do we talk, how often do we meet. In fact, a year we can just meet in less than 2 or 3. So ours is a different case. So it is not based on an emotional kind of a thing or anything of that sort.
Let me tell you. Okay, let me ask you, Davy.
Yes.
If today that your best friend
Mm.
comes to your house or is in town, let's say the fiance or the boyfriend is not in town, they live in another town, and then it happens she's here and it's late, she doesn't have any place to go. Will you invite her to your house? You have one bed. You'll sleep with her.
No.
Then why? But
I
she's your
cannot
best
do that.
friend. She's your best
In
friend.
fact, there was a time we met. She was traveling all the way from Nairobi to Eldoret, and she was going to her place home. We met in the evening. We just had coffee at a place, and just talk shortly, and I let her go.
Where did she sleep?
She went to her home, even if she arrived late, or she could
What
have.
if something happened to her? You should have just let her.
No. She's a grown-up woman. Hey.
Yeah, that's why she should have slept in your house.
No. Don't tempt me. You know what? Wisdom is. Listen.
Yeah,
Wisdom is. Unajua huwezi enda chokoza nyuki na isikuume. Let us be factual. You understand? So in as much as we respect each other to a point that you are accountable to that person. Understand? Because I know as soon as, and that's what I knew from the beginning, as soon as I allow feelings to creep in, that relationship will it will end. And there's so much I've gained in this relationship than any other relationship I've been, even with fellow men. You understand? So for my case, I cannot really say it is a best friend, but I can feel in category of the inner circle I have of friends, I can say she understands me more. Like I feel she connects to me more, she understands to me more, and in almost every aspect.
So in that case, are you trying to agree with the question that I asked in the Apo Karibu? That there is always someone who is secretly waiting for a chance.
So do you mean
so are you trying to confirm that because you are saying you don't want feelings to mkika pamoja, feelings inaweza take over, you don't want that to happen?
No,
So do you agree with that person that there's someone who's secretly waiting for a chance? Could either be you or her?
I do not think, I cannot truly agree, but I can say to some extent, it just shows that the same hormones that are released when people are in friendship are the same hormones that are released when people are in love. Understand? We are seeing this Jonathan and David, for instance, in the Bible. We had Ruth and Boaz in the Bible. It is possible. And in fact, it is possible because the skills that women have are not the skills that we men have. Like empathetic, they are empathetic in nature. You understand? They are able to see the small details. We men, we we can provide security. We men, we can do very certain tasks, and so therefore I can say that yes, to some extent yes. But if there are no clear boundaries and purpose for that relationship, then the miss is definitely inevitable. Because I can see the thing that has held us for all these years is purpose. Like purpose driven, we are purposely driven. Like there's no way. Yes, we can be free to talk over issues, life, relationship, every kind of issue of life. But there is boundaries here, kila kitu. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Collo, let's say you are in a relationship or you are married.
Okay.
Would you let your partner have a best friend of the opposite gender?
Okay. Best friend the opposite gender. Okay. First and foremost, women and men have nothing in common. We don't think the same. We don't have the same goals, and we don't have the same hormones. If I'm married, my priority is my marriage, and I should be able to protect that marriage. So, for me, I define boundaries where we agree with my partner. If we are not in agreement that she should be having a best friend, then she should be able also to protect our marriage. If she will not agree, then that is not my wife. That is someone else's wife in waiting.
So the moment she
Okay.
steps in that marriage,
Yes.
she should cut off anything to do with the opposite
Not
gender.
necessarily cutting off, but it's as it's about
Having a clear boundary.
it's about honest. She should be honest enough, and it cannot be, before we got married, we dated. Of course, we had our time together for a very long time. If this friend suddenly appears from nowhere, then that is questionable. She should be, she should be having a friend, maybe, quote unquote, somebody that we all know from a long way back. Okay? Because really, for me, the only situation I think is possible to have a female male, just friendship relationship is when the woman is ugly. Because if she's beautiful, for me, how can I? It is not possible to have just friends. It is not possible. Women and men cannot be just friends. It is always
Like
somebody.
you do not agree with that
It
point.
is not possible. It is not possible. Biologically, mathematically, it's not possible because men we invest our time, our energy, and our money where we see potential. For women, they do the same when they see opportunity. They are also waiting. So for okay, let me be a little vulgar here. I don't know why there is this thing. Every woman, quote unquote, because they have a vagina, they feel like they should be having an entitlement to someone's time, energy, and money. You know,
Be nice.
really, I think because I find it to be so delusional, especially in 2026. No, it is not possible. It is not possible for a woman or a man. Okay, people have their opinions, and people like me, maybe, who think it's not possible, have our own reasons, and maybe they are valid reasons. There are people, of course, who have their other opinions, contradicting opinions. They have their own reasons. But even if you look deeply and honestly, then you will agree with me that it's not possible to be a friend, a male and a woman, just first parents. Yes.
But there is strictly agreeing that it is possible.
But maybe, but when you are married, those are different. It's a different thing. Best friend and a friend, like, is it really possible to have a best friend when you're in marriage?
Okay, before you say that, because you just said there's a best friend and there's a friend, could you please tell us the difference between a friend and a best friend?
I can say for a friend is like any other person. Really, you do not even have to agree ideologically.
You don't share nothing close.
So much close in terms of access to who you are. You do not subscribe to the same virtues that make sense. Like the value, the kind of person you are, your worth. You understand? Like that person is not so much. You do not even mind if that person kama amekufanyia mabaya ama anything. But when it comes to a friend now, a friend who sticks more closer than a brother, that is the kind of definition now we are talking about best friend, right? Best friend, that of Jonathan and David in the Bible. You understand that of Jonathan, and you love that person as in as much as you love yourself, and you expect that person to love you in as much as you love yourself. Yes.
Collo, have you ever got feelings now that you are really disagreeing with the fact that people can be best friends?
Yes.
Have you ever got feelings for a friend or a best friend?
100%. I'm a human being.
You have.
Yes.
First of all, answer the question. Have you ever?
I have. I say 100%. We are humans.
Okay.
So it is possible. Back in uni, I remember I had a feeling for a girl who later turned on, to be not the very best of the friend that I thought. After, I explained my concerns to her. Of course, the relationship still stuck, but it changed after when we made things clear. We went quiet, like for a month or two, without the regular conversation that we
Okay,
had.
hold on there. I have a question to ask there.
But okay, before let me just finish. Remember also that the Bible, because you have introduced the Bible, the book of Proverbs talk about the virtues of a man. And we say men, we are in contempt of romance and the feelings, and we are always taken astray by our feelings. So basically, even the Bible confirms that it is not possible for a man and woman to be just friends.
Where?
The book of Proverbs. I'm not religious. I'm not a pastor. I will not give you. Yes.
No. And what
Yes.
about Ruth and Boaz?
Ruth and they were not friends. Were they friends? Really?
Yeah, very close friend.
Really? Did they share a bed together without having to do anything?
being friends.
You are not sure.
No. Being
Yes.
friends, I don't really share. Friends.
But why not
But
share?
you do
Why
everything
not
together,
share?
Davy.
Why not share a bed with your
You literally
best
do.
friend?
You
It's just
literally do
sharing a
everything
bed. What's wrong with that? If you really truly mean that this is your best friend, then there is nothing like it can really draw a line between
No.
the two of you.
Best friend means
Yes.
that also mean we have very clear boundaries.
Okay, it's fine, and I'm saying sharing a bed
especially
without doing
sexual,
anything.
emotional.
It's fine, but it is always those boundaries are always blurred because it is always one person who develops emotions and whatever. Maybe on your side you may argue to say that I have drawn very clear boundaries, but we are human beings. Unlike poles attract. Like poles always. So if you're straight, you'll always have sometimes that feeling can
But
come.
in the case of this generation, do you think like Paul still rebel that much?
That is debatable because now, right, previously we talked about LGBTQ.
Yeah.
We are in another generation. Things happen,
Yeah.
but of course, we need to acknowledge the fact that feelings will always arise at one point in time. And that will eventually end up to something. Maybe someone will be like jealous because you are not giving them your time, you are not giving them the necessary attention they need, and even quote unquote, even if they are truly your friends, would you, for example, allow them to have many, like if it's a lady, will you allow them to have many male friends coming around her? At some point, seriously, I think you'll feel something like you're jealous. That is human. It's human nature.
Yeah, even
Yes.
if you are so, even when you're so sure that there's nothing happening,
Yes.
it's nature.
Because
You will be
because I
jealous.
think for me, Ivy, people don't always speak about how they feel. And as men, for example, we are very tactical and we are logical beings. Unlike ladies who are emotional. For us, we can tell you are my friend, can spend time with you, share our secrets, but we only share what we want you to know. We don't share deep secrets as in deep. So for us, it is always we are waiting. When the right time comes, we will bang you like seriously. And that is for every male. Even a pastor, any male who is straight like me will always have something affecting them when it comes to ladies.
So, Collo,
Yes.
after giving us that story that you once had a friend
Yes.
in university, and then when you made your intentions clear,
Yes.
the friendship ikakuwa shaken kidogo.
Yes.
So, do you agree to this question? Can friendship still survive after one person confesses love?
Yes, it is possible if boundaries are very clear. At times, those boundaries are blurred. Yes.
You said you don't believe in you said you don't believe in best friends like developing feelings for the other, right? But how are you David? Let's talk about you. How are you going to get a partner?
You know,
Like
we have first to agree when you are seeing somebody or you are interested in somebody, that is a different thing altogether. Friend, we are talking of ukisha friendzone mtu, umsha friendzone. You
I
understand?
don't
Like,
think
unaona
so.
unaona for my case, I can give a practical example. There's this lady, we were friends for 4 solid years in campus. Though nowadays, squeezy, they shake up kidogo. I think the traditional metamorphoses are alive and everything. We are not so close like before. We were so close to such a point that she used to take care of me, to check on me if kama nimefanya exams because we were doing the same course. Kama nimefanya, I mean the what do you call, when you are given task, kama nimeenda class nini, at times I could miss one or two, at least. So we were so close to at that point. So ikafika mahali around second year, third year, some feelings ikaanza kucreep in. You understand?
Who had feelings for who?
Actually, it was me. Uh-huh.
Did you tell her?
Of course, why not?
What happened?
That is where I met you. So we had a conversation. Then we had to meet, and somehow she was interested in me. And the funny thing that made everything was awkward in a way, she was already dating. Then previously me, I was dating and I was not. Then I came to myself as a person because then I was a believer, very active in ministry. Understand? Yes. So I'm talking from a case of not hypocritical, but I'm talking from a case of, what happened practically. So we had, actually, she's the one who aliniweka sense in my mind. You understand? Because aliniambia, she just aliniprovoked, you understand, to think. Eh? Such for instance, kama tungedate hiyo relationship yetu ingeenda wapi? And then we realized like they were not even leveraged in terms of dating really seriously. The only things that we were just emotional kind of entangled. Understand? So what happened afterwards? We just had to put very strict boundaries between me and her. And for the larger part of um, third year and fourth year, we didn't meet so much. We used to meet only maybe in group discussions, maybe in library and such. So and we were like we talked over it, like half talk one on one. So for true, it is possible to develop those feelings, but the approach is different. And then there's something you asked, and I think I can add something and say I can say this that is it possible to have a best friend when you are like or a case whereby a person is single and the other person
Is dating or
is
married?
dating or married. No, that case is something different because for me, if I'm a married man and my wife, for instance, hajawahi niambia ako na rafiki mwanaume, ai Jonte tu atokelezee mahali
No,
italeta
even
shida.
if it was there,
No,
they'll still
unaona,
be close.
it won't make, unaona, if that person, one, communicated highly on that specific friend. Secondly, if the boundaries, you can't tell me you have late night talks, understand? Emotional kind of, I think when everything happens, the first thing, and amwambia my wife, hey, that one will be, if there are no, there is no problem with friends. Me, I have no problem. Like, for instance, I have no problem having a male. In fact, it's healthy. It is healthy because it is healthy. But I won't. It will be a problem in such a place whereby the boundaries are blurred the same way he said. So this thing, we do not. It is practically impossible for a man to miss a female friend.
Okay, let me ask you. Let me ask you this because I have listened to you very carefully. So now, what are your non-negotiables when you are drawing a boundary? How do you decide now?
For me, one, let the purpose of the relationship be established from the word go. As Dr. Miles Musro said that when the purpose of something is not known, its misuse is inevitable. So definitely, purpose one. If it's not for growth, it is not for accountability, it's not for probation, career, job. If it is not for ministry, understand? Then that relationship is baseless. Is baseless. If it is for emotional, if it is for emotional, definitely that relationship will stand. If the foundation, because the foundation is what's make it is the purpose. Secondly, is transparency. Let it be clear. For instance, if you are dating, tell your partner, I have blah blah, friend is blah blah. Because definitely I may not be a mentor. We all need mentors. Mentors can be different in different ranks. You understand? It can be a man, and we have men who understand who they are. They stand with their values. And lastly, I want to say I can say so many things, but I can say this also. I can add this that there be no emotional attachment at all. Boundaries that we are talking about is clarity. Boundaries, no emotional attachment at all. And let there be clear. Just say, state from the word that is blah blah, this your friend.
Okay, but I agree with you to some extent that it is possible to have a best friend, a female, right? But only if she's ugly. But if she's beautiful, yes, a very
Get your
beautiful,
point together.
a very beautiful person. You cannot tell me that you are a man, a straight man. If you're straight, that you cannot develop some emotion, some romantic, kind of thing with time, because this is a person you share almost everything together, almost everything. So it is
Which
natural.
actually the difference
It is
between the
natural.
best friend and your partner
Yes,
is just because you don't get intimate with
yes,
them
exactly.
because you share everything
Exactly,
together.
exactly my point. So I think Davy, I'll disqualify your points with that regard because me, okay, you are talking about purpose, transparency, no secrecy, all those things. It's okay; they are non-negotiable to you. But it hardly happens when it's, when we are talking about human beings. Yes.
So, Davy, if you say this thing, they all solely depend on trust that you build between you now that you are married and your partner has a best friend. So, if today your partner tells you they are having a weekend trip or something with a best friend who's a guy, will you comfortably be okay with that?
No, not at all. You know, when we say a friend, we need to understand what role do a friend play in a person's life.
Best friend, not
No,
a
even
friend.
that is still a friend. And I do not even ascribe to best friend in a marriage really, because let's say a closer friend, let's say a closer friend,
So
but not
different
really
genders.
a best friend, because when you are in marriage, your first priority is your husband. You understand? As a woman, and as a man is your wife. In fact, no parents, not your sisters, not any even related by blood. So imagine ati ngulusu mtu fulani kutokea from somewhere.
So now, so it's
Kuna
not possible to have female and women just friends. Just friends.
it is possible, but you can't tell me, like for instance, the way I'm in Visa, you can't tell me ati you want to go for a weekend ati mnaenda Masai Mara. Ndugu yangu
That is a best
nagongewa.
friend.
Okay, when they're married, it's okay. But now you're saying sorry. Let me have the mic. So you're saying, Devi, that it is possible to, for women and men to be just friends. If you're married, you are saying that it is not possible. So what exactly do you mean? Because now Ivy has asked you a very straightforward question. That okay, she agrees that maybe you are in a marriage relationship, right? And your wife has a best friend who is a male, and then that male is asking to go for a trip with
Yeah,
your
because
wife.
you really agree that
Yes.
there's nothing that happens between because mume set boundaries and they know you are married.
Hapana.
So you
Unaona,
believe
when you
nothing
talk
happens?
about trip, that is something else different.
Well,
Where nani, let's say who on heart don't understand.
it happens.
Who on
But
heart
it's a
can
best
agree ati unaniambia ati wanaenda trip, they are going for a road trip, they are going for Masai Mara. No. That
Okay,
can
Why?
happen.
fine.
That can happen.
Why? You trust your wife, don't you?
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
and it's
No.
just a best friend anyway.
Let us agree. First of all, when you're married to somebody, you can't tell me ati unaenda on a weekend. That guy, for instance, is a single guy. Understand?
Yeah,
Single.
but it's no problem.
For me, unaona,
Uh.
for me, if you ask me, it would be strictly on certain, maybe that person is her mentor, for instance. If that person is her mentor, for instance, that person ministry wise. Alafu kuna hii issue pia, si ati pastors, even pastors they can be course, you understand? So for me, I'm very careful. I will want to watch and see what is really happening between my wife, for instance, and the other person. So it depends on how they relate. But mimi kuniambia hiyo sort of trip X, that is a very X. Because there is no accountability in that place. That is not for growth. You can't tell me that is the purpose for that meeting is just for growth and everything. Hiyo ndugu yangu, hiyo ni kugongewa.
So you agree it's not possible to have male and female just friends?
No.
Yes, you agree because now you are saying
That is a very different thing altogether.
okay, it's not different because circumstantially you are with your wife who has a best friend that you trust. Why do you doubt the accountability when it comes to your own wife?
That is very different because the nature and the circumstance is very different. You need to understand first of all that this is a woman, a married woman. So you can't tell me that she goes, for instance, for a trip. That thing is a no from the whole.
For a business trip, church meeting.
Maybe a business. No, you just say a trip. A trip is something like, for example, Masai
No, it
Mara.
could be any.
They're going to
No,
could
it
be any.
depends if it is for, like, for example, if it is for, like, for instance, they are going for a conference, for instance, maybe perhaps
their
a
best friend
business
is there.
economic.
David, they are going to Dubai together for 1 week business trip.
Because they are friends, yeah.
Dubai.
Uchunge boma.
Ndugu yangu hapo kidogo itasumbua.
And they are friends.
No. Okay, that is a very different thing altogether.
Anyway, for me, I really believe, or I don't believe that thing, a friendship will survive. Mtu mmoja confess love. I really don't think, because it once happened to me. Well, guys, if we decide to continue discussing this thing, we would continue for a very long time. But for now, I want us to stop it at that point. But before we end it, I want to get your stance, guys. Or okay, give us a stance as you're closing the video.
As I end, I'll say yes, it is possible for male and female to be friends. One, when the boundary is clear. I mean, when we talk about and the purpose, when we talk about purpose, you're talking about if it is for growth, it's for accountability, it's for ministry wise, a mutual benefit that is not hidden. You understand? No secrets, no late night meetings, emotional. Ati unaongea na msee mpaka saa saba ya usiku 2, 3. No. That one is not possible. If the attraction and the feelings are involved, that is not a relationship. That is not a friends. That is not a friendship kind of a thing. Friend is a very clear boundaries. Yes. No, I mean no secret meetings, no side shows. It is just straightforward friends, and this is defined. That is clearly defined. If you are married, your married partner should know that it blah blah is a friend. If you are single or if you are dating and the other person is not, is vice versa. So let there be known like early enough. You understand? And don't tell me ati mnakutana late in the evening meetings. No. If it is meetings, maybe group meetings, you understand? Avoid solo meeting at all. So it is possible for a man and a female to be friends because women carry different skills in life naturally than men. Women, security, for instance, we are visionary people, but women carry empathetic. They have that, their nature, their attitude is just nature by I mean, that is how God created them. So we need all this to exist as a society, but let there be clear boundaries. And wacha tu rafiki akuwe rafiki. Yes.
Wow, nice.
For me, to our viewers, it is with such a pantagruelian gratification that you have been with us the whole session, and we really cannot take it for granted. We say thank you. So for my parting shot, men and women, just friends. It's not possible. Let us not lie. It is not possible.
Collo,
It is not possible. It is
just
not
be
possible.
clear.
It is not possible.
When if you
You know,
Jonas.
let us be very honest. It's either these people were sleeping together in the past, or
Or
they
they're
are
planning.
sleeping together now, or they are planning to sleep together in the future. Because a man cannot invest his time, his energy, his money where there is no where there is no like potential.
Where there's no
We men
benefits.
are very logical beings, while our counterparts are, your emotional beings.
Yeah.
And you do the same. You invest your time, energy, and money where you see opportunity, and that is the truth. So it is not possible for a man and a woman to be just friends. It's not possible. Yes.
Well, as for me, I'm not gonna speak for you, but based on my own experience, I don't think it's really possible because there's always someone who is waiting to take advantage or maybe waiting for a chance. And I don't think friendship will survive after someone confesses their love. So, guys, I want you to go to the comment section and tell me what you think about men and women being just friends, or rather being best friends. Do you think it really can happen? Especially if you are married or if you are single and the other person is in a relationship, or they are single and you are married, you get? So please go to the comment section and tell us about that. Thank you so much for staying tuned, for watching this video till this far. We hope to see you again on our next video. Bye.